Hey guys, it's Max Bakowski here, and today I have something to show you all. So, a while ago, probably like 5, 6 years ago, somebody from the EAS community discovered that. So, if you guys are familiar with the old CRS, the console replacement system that the National Weather Service offices used to use to broadcast their NOAA weather radio, it had three distinct voices. It had Tom, it had Donna, and then Deck Talk Paul. Well, the Tom voice is it's gone through a couple different renditions. It was first created by Speechworks Speechify way back in the early 2000s. Then Scansoft bought it, and then eventually Nuance got it, and Nuance completely changed it. That's the version that we still have on iOS today. And I think I forget who it was that Cerence I think is who bought it after that. But the rendition that the National Weather Service used of it was Speechify. I think it was like 4 point something that they used. However, there is a very close version of it, of the Speechify Tom voice, that was included with Microsoft Speech Server 2004, which was meant for Windows Server 2003. Now, of course, obviously, we getting Windows Server 2003 on bare metal hardware nowadays just isn't an option. But somebody created a virtual machine in Oracle VirtualBox of Windows Server 2003 and installed Microsoft Speech Server 2004 onto it. So I got this VM a couple of years ago. I got VirtualBox up and going and got the VM, and it wasn't accessible. It had narrator, but with Windows Server 2003 being based off Windows XP, narrator's about as good there as it was on XP. So obviously it didn't work out that well. So I installed NVDA. I got NVDA 2017.3 working on it. That's the latest version that XP and Server 2003 supports for screen reader access. And it's actually usable. So I'm going to show you guys this VM today, and I'm also going to give you guys a download link to it. Now, this is using VirtualBox, and I know VirtualBox isn't everybody's favorite because it's not the most accessible thing out there, but it works. So I'm going to show you guys how to use it today, how to use the Speechify voices, and alright, let's get started here. So let's go ahead. I'm doing this on Fedora Workstation 42 using the GNOME desktop. This isn't Linux, but the process is exactly the same on Windows. This will work on Microsoft Windows, this will work on Linux, and if you still own one of the Intel-based Macs, it'll work there too. But it won't work on Apple Silicon. This was x86 specific, and I've tried to get this working in Qemu and some other stuff before where UTM runs, but it just gives me a blue screen there, so you're kind of stuck using x86 to get this working for all of you ARM fans out there. So anyway, let's get this going here. I'm going to open up VirtualBox.
Oh, Oracle VirtualBox.
All right.
Oracle VirtualBox Manager Frame contains a tree
And
of virtual.
from here, we're going to go under the File menu
Preferences. Can import appliance.
and hit Import Appliance. And the shortcut for this for keyboard users is Control+I if you prefer to just do the shortcut. But because I'm demonstrating this, I'm going through the menu bar. So Control+I will open the import
virtual appliance dialog appliance to import.
All right.
Holds the path of the
So we have
files.
a file path here. Nothing is in this right now. So
Holds the path of the file.
this edit field here is blank. I'm gonna go ahead and hit
Choose a
tab
virtual appliance file to
and
import.
hit choose a virtual appliance file. I'm gonna hit enter on this. This will bring up a file selection dialog.
Please choose a virtual.
In Windows, this would be the file
Main table
explorer,
column
but
here.
since we're using Linux has its own
Android
file
827.
selection picker. This will default to your documents folder. So I have the OVA file for this
Zoom
at the very bottom.
Windows Server
So
2000.
to import
Windows MIDI
this,
27.
we're gonna go up.
Windows 2003.over2.1 GB OVF.
Here's the OVA file for Windows Server 2003. This will import.
Import virtual
VirtualBox.
appliance dialog appliance to import.
I don't know that this will work in VMware. VMware does have support for OVA files, but because I created this with VirtualBox, it may not import. I got it to import
Holds
once,
the source.
so if you guys want to try, be my guest.
Cancel button next.
but we're doing this for the sake of this video in VirtualBox. All right, we're gonna hit next. Just leave everything as
Layered
is.
pane 0. Detailed
And
machine base folder. /MAC address policy.
now the one thing you might want to change, if you store your virtual machines, by default, this will be stored in your user account. In Windows, this is wherever, like C:users /user /VirtualBox VMs or whatever. But here in Linux, it's /home/ whatever your user is
Machine base folder.
VirtualBox
/home/
VMS.
/mac /VirtualBox VMs editable combo.
If you have an alternate location where you want to store this, change this file path here. Otherwise, just leave it as
Detailed
is.
list of all components. Cancel button. Seek finish button. F commit
So
all.
we're gonna go ahead and hit finish. This will start importing it. It will
Orbital
take
virtual.
a second, and then once that's done, you can hear the progress tones the screen readers do, and you can probably see it on screen there. But okay, so it's going. It won't take that long to import. It takes a couple
99%.
seconds. And there we go. It's
Layered pane 0 items. Contains a list of virtual machine details. List.
So we don't want to be here, but hit
Contains a
tab.
tree of virtual machines and their groups list.
Now, for some weird reason, it won't read this list. Orca won't read this list, and as far as I know, NVDA doesn't either, but it's the only one in here, so we're just going to hit enter and it'll start it up. It'll start
Windows
up Windows Server
2003 running
2003.
Orbital VirtualBox frame. Holds
Okay,
the graphical canvas
so it's running. I'm going to go ahead and full screen this.
Windows 2003 running.
At least I hope it's full screened. And it'll take a second to start up. Now, once it does, we'll be greeted with NVDA coming on. It's set up so that NVDA will come on the login screen. So we'll just wait for that.
Log on to Windows dialog. Password.
Okay. Now, one thing I will point out is the way that this VM was originally set up when I got it, it had some defaults that were set during Windows Server's installation. One of them was a shutdown event tracker that was very annoying. And basically what that would do is when you would shut down the PC, it would ask you, why are you shutting it down? And if there was an unexpected shutdown, it would ask you, please tell me the reason why there was an unexpected shutdown. It was super annoying, so I disabled that. And then another feature I disabled was originally you had to actually press Control-Alt-Delete to make this login screen appear. I turned that off too, because if you were running a server version of Windows on real hardware, I could see why you would want that, because essentially what Control-Alt-Delete to log in, pressing Control-Alt-Delete to log in, when you enforce that, it ensures that only the true authentic login screen appears. It prevents fake login screens and stuff from appearing that might steal your passwords. But this is a virtual machine, so I'm not concerned about it here. But hey, if you're going and testing out this thing, then maybe turn it back on. Just saying. But anyway, we're on the logon screen right now.
Username.
So
Edit Alt plus U. Selected administrator.
administrator is the user, and
Password.
then leave the
Edit
password
protected
field
Alt
for this
plus E.
blank. If you just leave it blank and hit enter, there's no password set, so just leave that blank and then
Please.
hit enter.
Welcome
And
to NVDA dialog. Welcome
there we
to
go.
NVDA.
I'm gonna go ahead and just get rid of this.
Okay, but options
dialog
grouping.
here.
Show this dialog when space not checked.
This dialog will appear when NVDA starts. Now, if you don't want NVDA on, you can just
Keep your
it's in
computer
the
up to
system
date.
tray. You can for sighted people in the system tray, you can just find the NVDA icon under there, right click, and then hit exit. But for blind people, you guys are just used to hitting insert Q, so you can do it that way too, to close out of NVDA. And uncheck
automatically
automatically start NVDA,
just Windows checkbox checked Alt plus
and then
use caps lock as an NVDA
one thing I
modifier
might check
checkbox not
here
checked
on
Alt
this
plus
is
space checked.
use caps lock as an NVDA modifier, because by default Orca will capture insert. So I'm gonna go ahead and check caps lock.
Automatically start NVDA after I log on to Windows checkbox checked Alt plus
I
A.
do want that
Show
set.
this dialog when NVDA starts checkbox not checked Alt
Now
plus S.
make sure that's unchecked, because it will bug you with this dialog every time NVDA starts otherwise. I think most of you guys know
Okay
that, but
button.
I'm gonna go ahead and hit OK. This will dismiss the dialog, and then we'll be on the desktop.
Desktop list recycle bin not selected 1 of 11.
Okay, so here we are. This is Windows Server 2003. Now, the only thing I'm going to show you guys in this video is how to actually use the Speechify voices, because the rest of this is pretty self-explanatory. It's just a regular Windows VM for the most part. Other than that, I mean, you can. I mean, heck, you can even run some apps and stuff if as long as they're compatible. But I have this just for the sole purpose of the Speechify, the Windows Server, the Speech Server. Sorry, Speech Server 2004, and the Speechify voices. Now, unfortunately, this is not as convenient as I would like it to be. I wish they were. Supposedly, Speechify works in Microsoft Speech API 5.0, but I haven't been able to get that to work. In fact, if you go into the control panel under text to speech or like any software that supports SAPI 5, it only shows Microsoft Sam, Mike, and Mary. It doesn't show anything else. But Speechify Tom and Speechify Jill are installed on here, but you sorry about that. You for some weird reason they don't show up in SAPI 5. So there's another process you have to use to actually type text and play it back. And that's what I'm going to show you here. So first of all, on the desktop, there's a file here called prompts.pf. In here is where we need to go. So I'm going to press enter on this file.
Enter Microsoft Development
and here we go.
Design prompts.pf.
Now this opens up in Visual Studio, and this version of Visual Studio just isn't accessible in Windows Server 2003. But that's okay, because there's something else we can... There's a workaround that I figured out. You can select all with Control A. You won't hear anything. One thing I will warn you is in VirtualBox, you always have to use left control, because right control key is what VirtualBox likes to call the host key. It's used to change like different settings like in the virtual machine and stuff like that. Like for example, if you hit host plus H or right control plus H, it shuts down the VM. If you hit right control plus home, it takes you to the menu bar up top. If you hit right control plus P, it will pause and resume the virtual machine. So always use left control, because right control will not be passed through to the virtual machine. So, alright, select all the text in here with left control plus A, and then cut it with control plus X, again using left control. Now we're going to go, I'm going to use the run dialog for this, but most of you guys probably use the start menu. I'm going to open up notepads. Just type in here notepad and press enter. In my opinion, that's the fastest way to get to this, but if you guys want to use the start menu, that's fine too. And paste in the text. Control V. Alright, so here's what we have. I'm going to go...
Return generic prompt.
Yeah, we're at the very bottom, so I'm going to go up to the top using Control Home. And look at this line right here.
Equals text here.
Var s main prompt equals text here. Text here is in quotations. So,
quote.
Alright, do not modify the rest of this code because it's needed to make the voices actually work. But only worry about this line here. Okay, text here is selected. So I'm going to type in a piece of text and have Speechify read it back. So to do this, text here is currently selected. So anything I type will get rid of. That'll get rid of it. So let's just say
space.
Now the reason I put the M before it is if you want it to, if you're typing out like a weather warning, it has a distinct way, CRS had a distinct way of saying that like every warning starts with the National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm. Speechify Tom had a very distinct way of saying it. That's if you don't put the M and then the comma, it doesn't say it exactly the way you would hope, the way it does on NOAA. It says it more like Scansoft Tom does. It'll say the National Weather instead of the National Weather Service. Yeah, so when you go to, if you're saving this stuff to like audio files or something like that, I'll talk about it in a little while here. Cut that part off with Audacity, but I'm gonna keep typing this in here. I'm not gonna type in a full warning or anything like that. But let's just say, let's do a severe thunderstorm warning.
Space
For
AATRONALSAWE.
Let's do Grand Rapids. Okay, and we'll just leave it at that. And so now what we got to do is we have to copy this text from Notepad back into our prompts.pf file. So to do that, Control A selects everything, and then just select and copy. Control A, Control C. Alt Tab back here. And I already cut the text from before, and we pasted it into Notepad. That's what we were editing there. So to paste it back in, it's copied to the clipboard right now. Just hit Control V. And then to save it, hit Control S. Now, NVDA won't say anything when you do any of this, unfortunately. I'm sorry. But it's saved. Actually, you'll know that it's not saved because if you check the title bar with...
Caps Lock T.
Come on. Okay, yeah. If you look now, I don't know why that didn't work. Because I had caps lock set, but I guess we are going to have to use insert. Okay, so that's good to know, too. If you guys are using this, don't expect caps lock to work properly. For some reason, it doesn't.
Caps Lock off.
Okay, now it does.
Microsoft Development Environment Design Prompts.pf star.
Yeah, if you see the star next to the title bar, you have changes that you probably haven't saved yet, or maybe you've bumped a key. I don't know. But either way. So to undo, you can hit Control Z, which is what I just did. That'll undo the last character you entered into the text field. Now let's see if it's still there.
Microsoft Development Environment Design Prompts.pf.
Nope, it's not. Okay, so there we go. Everything's been saved. And so now what we got to do to hear the text read back, we have to go back to the desktop. I'm going to leave all this open because we'll... Actually, I'm going to close Notepad. We don't need this instance of Notepad anymore because I'm not going to edit the text. So, and for that matter, we don't need... I'm not going to edit the text anymore, so I'm going to close out Visual Studio too. Okay. And now, to hear the text read back, we go to this app here called Telephony Application Simulator, and I'm going to open it by pressing Enter. It's an icon on the desktop. And here we are. All right. So now what we need to do, we need to go to the File menu. And go to Open. Now you can just hit Control O, but again, I'm demonstrating. So I want you guys to see what I'm doing here.
Start page and the telephony application simulator will load it for you. Combo box. Edit Alt plus O. Selected http://localhost/speech/samples/using DTMF/page1.asks.
Okay, the server's running, so it's set to start up when Windows starts up. The speech server is currently running, so the voices will work, and this is the URL that it uses to actually get to it. And yeah, if you guys are wondering, a fun fact, this was actually used for like telephone services. Like press 1 to do this, press 2 to, like, you know, those automated systems that you call for like stores and like like pharmacies and banks and stuff like that. That's what this is simulating here. But essentially what we did is, if you want the technical mumbo-jumbo of what we just did, we edited the prompts.pf file, which that's like what you would hear, like the prompt that it would give you when you first went, when you first called. So the main prompt is our text. So that's what we're doing here. It's the text that we just entered in. And for that reason, you'll see in a second that it actually will loop if we let it run long enough and we don't hang up. So we're going to go ahead and hit OK, and this will load the page. Now this window here, this doesn't need to be open. It's just going to get in the way. So go ahead and close this with Alt F4. And there we go. Now even though NVDA didn't announce it until I pressed Tab, we're back on our telephony application simulator window. To hear the text we just entered in, Speechify Tom is selected by default for the voice, so we're good there. To hear the speech, we're going to go
Dial button,
ahead
Alt
and
plus
hit
D.
dial. Now, I don't know why, but you can, there's two shortcuts to dial, and the only one that it says is Alt D. You can also use Control D, and it will do the exact same thing. But I'm just going to go ahead and click Enter.
The National Weather Service in Grand Rapids has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for.
There we go. And like I said, if we let it sit.
The National Weather Service in Grand Rapids has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for.
Now the other cool thing is there's where is it?
The National Weather Service in Grand Rapids has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for.
Open. Combo
It's not gonna...
desktop lit. Telephony application.
Okay, here's
the
our
National
telephony.
Weather Service in Grand Rapids
Our
has
telephony
issued a
application
severe
simulator
thunderstorm
window.
warning for.
Now,
6 button alt, 3 button, 2
here's the
button
thing.
alt,
It's
plus
actually
1
keep
button
that
alt,
here.
plus
Like,
1.
that's something on here.
To hear rates for internet service using a dial-up connection, press 1. To hear rates for internet service using a cable modem connection, press 2. To hear rates for internet service using a DSL connection, press 3. To hear this prompt again, press star.
If I let it sit again,
2 button.
which I'm about to, so...
To hear rates for internet service using a dial-up connection, press 1. To
I'm
hear
gonna
rates
press
for
1.
internet service using the rates for dial-up internet service is $15 per month. Thank you.
Exit button alt plus E.
Okay, it just hung up on its own, but you can also just... I'm going to reload that and I'll show you just... If you...
Telephony application.
I just hit... So there were three options. There, exit, reload, and new start page. Just, if you're going to... If you want to use it again, just hit reload. And I'm going to, because I'm going to dial it again.
The National Weather Service in
Okay.
Grand Rapids has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for.
To hang up, just hit...
TMF input grouping. Number button alt plus call management grouping.
The National Weather Service in Grand Rapids has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for.
You can just hit...
Call management
Hang up
grouping.
right here.
Hang up button alt plus A.
I'm going to do that.
Exit button alt plus E.
Okay, so I'm going to leave this open on this page for now because there's one more thing I'm going to show you guys, and it's how to change the speed of the voice. So to do that, we have to, first of all, what we got to do
Folder view.
is we actually have to stop the voice that we're currently using. It is currently running as a Windows service, and we have to stop it. Because we have to edit a configuration file, and we have to get it to reread that configuration file. So there's two ways of stopping it, and I'll show you guys both ways. The first way here
Speechify server management
is
7 of 11.
to go into this icon here on the desktop called Speechify Server Management. Click on this. This will actually open up
Space.
like the management window
Speechify
for
server
Speechify.
management. Speechify
Okay.
server management. Level 0 Speechify server management 1 of 1.
Now, NVDA can be a little bit weird with navigating this window, and that's why I don't prefer this method, but it is a way to do it.
List
So-
Jill. Language.
And it's actually going to cooperate this time.
Tom.
Look at
Language.
that.
NUS.
Okay,
Format.
here's Tom.
8. Port. 5573. Version.
Okay.
0. Status. Running 2 of 2.
Alright, that's that. So I'm going to go ahead. We actually have to stop the voice.
Context menu.
So
Start this voice unavailable S. Stop this voice graceful S.
I'm going to stop it gracefully. I'm going to press enter.
Service control dialog attempt. Speechify server map.
Okay, that's that. Alright,
Folder view list.
so now
Speechify ser-
we're going to go into...
Modulate.xml
There's two
3 of
files
11.
here. This one here is...
Modulate.xml list item focused selected 3 of 11.
That's ogilate.xml. And so that one is Speechify Jill's configuration, and we're not using Speechify Jill. We're using Tom. So, and the other thing with Jill's configuration is, for some reason, the file is read-only, so you can't even save it. So, yeah. And because I don't use Jill, I just left it as is. So, the one we want to worry about is this one here, tom8.xml.
Automate.xml list item focused selected 4 of 11.
Okay, press enter on this. Now this will open in Notepad. Originally the file type was associated to, it was set to open with Visual Studio. The XML file type was set to open with Visual Studio, which we had to work with earlier, and it's not accessible. So I went ahead and changed it
Space.
to open in Notepad by default. So we're going to go ahead and press enter on this. This will open up this
Automate.xml
file.
notepad edit.
Now, the quickest way to access the rate, the speech rate, is to open up Notepad's Find dialog with Control plus F.
Find dialog.
And make sure match case is, if you want to be lazy like I am, make sure match case is unchecked.
Find.
And that way you don't have to worry about punctuation or not, sorry, casing. But type in TTS dot, get out of here, caps lock.
Caps lock off.
Thank you.
Caps lock on. Caps lock off.
Okay.
Caps lock off.
That's better.
Not.
Because match case is off, but you don't want to go around your operating system typing stuff in with your caps lock on. It's just a bad habit. Anyway, TTS dot audio dot rate, and press enter on that. Now you have to escape out of this dialog, which I'm going to do.
Automate.xml
okay.
Edit multi-line. Less value rater 100. Less.
So here's what we have.
TTS.audio.rate rater.
Okay, so that's the parameter name, TTS.audio.rate. Down arrow.
Less value rater 100. Less slash value rater.
Now this is an XML file, so in that tag, the value tag, what we're going to do, I'm going to actually... This is what the speech rate is currently set to right now. So a value greater than 100 will make it speak faster. A value less than 100, a value lower, I should say, that will make it speak slower. Now if you're using this to create EAS scenarios, if you want to, you can slow the voice down by editing it in Audacity, but to make it sound more like a little more authentic, slow it down here. So I'm going to do that now. So let's say we're trying to emulate, like, because different National Weather Service offices throughout the country actually have their voice set to speak slightly slower or faster sometimes. So let's say we want to emulate, like, the offices maybe down in Hawaii. They speak super slowly. So let's say, all right, so I'm going to change this value from 100, and I'm going to change it to 80. This will slow that. It was at 50%. If you want a percentage, and let's say 50 was the default, this would be slowing it down to 40% of its actual rate, which is actually considerably slower. So I'm going to go ahead and save it with Control S. And
telephony application simulate Speechify server management icon.
We can close this window out. So just
automate.xml notepad. Edit multi.
There is one more value I'll show you guys, and it's right above it.
TTS.audio.volume rater.
This is the volume. It's also set to 100. Leave that where it's at. A value greater than 100 will make it louder, and a value less than 100 will make it quieter. But if you set this higher than 100, it might clip. So the audio might clip when it gets played back. So just leave that at 100. In fact, it will clip. I've tested it. So anyway, just leave that as is. Leave that configuration file as is.
Application simulator shutdown
and
to exit button.
I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to hit reload. This will reload that page.
And application simulator.
Okay, so now we are back at this screen again. I'm going to go ahead and hit dial. I'm just going to...
Dial button Alt plus D. Attempt.
The National Weather Service in Grand Rapids has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for...
And there we go. That slowed it down. You can tell.
Exit button.
All right, I just hung up again because otherwise it was going to loop. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys the other way that you can start and stop that service. You can do it through the server management window, which I just did, or you can also just use the regular Windows Services menu to start it and stop it, which is what I'm going to do now, because I'm actually going to change that configuration file again and change the voice speed back to its default. So I'm going to do that now. So to open up the services menu, the quickest way is just to go to the run menu by hitting Windows R and just type in services.msc and pressing enter.
Services.
Right. Here's our services, and here's our list of services.
List alert, description, notifies selected users and computers.
Just If you're using a screen reader, just press S.
Secondary log on.
And
security
go.
account
Keep
server.
going.
Discrete shell hardware detect smart card. The special administration console. Speechify voice US English. Jill. 8K.
Okay, here's Jill.
Speechify voice US English. Tom. 8K.
And here's Tom.
Description.
So we're going to go ahead and...
Unavailable S.
If we're doing it through the services menu, actually, there is an option to just simply restart the service. So we can actually edit this configuration file without stopping it, which is what I'm going to do here. Okay, here's the rate.
Space 8 1 0
100, and I'm going to save it again with Control S. You can also just go under File and hit Save. You can do that too. Okay. So we just edited the configuration file for Tom, so I'm going to go ahead and restart this.
Context menu. Service control dialog windows in Services local.
And there we go. It's restarted. Now, if we go back into
telephony application exit button.
Telephony application simulator, we should be able to. The changes should take effect. So I'm going to go ahead and reload this again.
Telephony application simulator.
Just hit Alt-R
to
reload it. There we go. We're back to this screen again. And I'm going to hit dial. It should be back to its normal speed.
The National Weather Service in Grand Rapids has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for.
And it is. Okay, and one more thing I will mention. If you stop this service and forget to restart it, when you go into Telephony Application Simulator and hit dial, if it needs the voice, it will use it. It'll start it again. So that's also why I didn't actually go into the services menu from before, the server management. I actually didn't go in and start it again because it'll automatically do it for us. You may have even heard NVDA say it was attempting to start it. I don't know. I didn't say anything. But, so, yeah. So that's pretty much it. And I'm going to go ahead and...
automate telephony application service telephone.
One more little note about Telephony Application Simulator here. Sometimes when you hit exit, I don't know why, but it causes NVDA to freeze. So what I like to do is just Alt F4 twice. Services. That'll close it, and most of the time that works just fine. Okay, so from here to shut the VM down, you can just shut it down as normal. But VirtualBox has a key command, a shortcut to shut it down. And to do that, you can use host plus H. So that would be right control plus H. That should shut it down. And there we go. All right. So that's that. It should be shutting down. Now, for some reason, it takes a second to completely shut down. I mean, XP does too, but yeah. Okay. And then once that's fully shut down, this window will disappear.
Windows 2003 stopping Oracle VirtualBox.
So that's it for this video. I will have a download link for this in the description. So if you guys want to use this, you can go ahead. I know this is used in the EAS community quite a bit, but up until now, I don't think that there's been a version of it that's actually accessible. So I hope you guys found this useful. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.